our first live in, my God, it's been months since we did a live, but
Been months.
it's been a long time. But we're going to dive into a live here, and we're going to be talking about
Anything.
the Jason universe, Sweet Revenge. If you guys have seen Sweet Revenge, what your takes on it. We're going to be talking about our takes on Sweet Revenge, basically what I thought of it,
That's basically our.
and what you thought of it,
We have the same.
and what we think of the Jason universe. I mean, there's
Why
so
don't we-
far there's been some cast photos and some little bit behind the scenes stuff from
Camp.
Crystal Lake, the prequel series. There's been some stuff shown recently on there, which looks not bad. I'm interested to see what the Jason universe is going to do with that. Still no release date on when we're going to get the Jason universe series, as we know that. But we did get a little taste of it with Sweet Revenge, which I'll dive into, as you guys are just probably going to come on here after. Sweet Revenge was not bad. It was basically a 15-minute teaser, kind of vignette style, almost like a commercial for Angry Orchard, because they're one of the ones that's sponsoring the Jason universe, as they got to deal with them, and it was kind of like going towards the same kind of deal. But it was our first look of what we can expect from the Jason universe and what we can expect them to do with this project. So we start off, we see a couple of new counselors. They're back at Camp Crystal Lake. They meet the owner of Crystal Lake, who says that he acquired it in a deal. It was being sold off, and then he acquires it from them. That there was some wrongdoings that happened there. There was some revenge and some betrayal and some killings. Lots of killings. Obviously talking about Jason. Well, not talking about Jason, which is kind of the thing, is I'm not sure how much they can mention about Jason, how much they can't with this whole thing, because of obviously the rights issues with Victor Miller and Sean Cunningham and everything else that's associated with this. But we do get some cool callbacks. We do get the original score back into this teaser trailer, which is kind of cool. That the original score is back in there. We get kind of some of like the original music that we've seen in there as well. Hello guys, how you doing? Some original music that we've seen in there as well, which is really cool for Friday the 13th. It was really cool for us to see what they're basically doing with the Jason universe and Sweet Revenge. It was an awesome thing. I'm super excited to see where they're going to go with it. I trust that we're going to get a good Jason product. Hopefully something better than what we've had in the previous time. So definitely intrigued to see where they go with it. We do have a returning cast member for the Crystal Lake series, as Adrienne King, who plays Alice in Friday the 13th Part 1, will be reprising her role as Alice, so that'll be really cool. So I'm super excited to see where they go with it. And let me know, guys, what you guys thought of Sweet Revenge. If you watched it, your thoughts of what they did with it. I like that they didn't show too much of the mask, because the mask to me looks terrible. So I'm glad that we've seen it like in like Dark Elements, where we're seeing like kind of half of it, but half of not of the mask. We only see the mask fully, I think, in like one scene, which looks not bad. But yeah, I'm just not a fan of the design of the mask. I think the new design looks terrible for the Jason universe. Unfortunately, and I like Greg Nicotero. Greg Nicotero is one of the best special effects makeup artists that's out there. And yeah, he kind of did not the best of jobs on the mask, unfortunately. Because, well, he did a poor job on Halloween. I think it was 4 or 5 that he did the mask on that one as well. But not the best Jason mask, but we have to see more of it. We have to see it actually on the screen. Hopefully later on in the installments of Crystal Lake, which is a prequel series to Friday the 13th. Which is basically, I think, is going to be telling the mum story and Jason, and it's going to go into how he drowned, and then kind of leading up to the events of what happened after that, I'm thinking, is what they're going to do with it. This is Victor Miller's project, so. But we're back in the Jason swing of things, because we do have that show. We have a new video game coming for Friday the 13th. New merchandise for Friday the 13th, as the new mask is out now. Haven't seen it yet at the local Spirit Halloween. It hasn't come out yet. It's probably on its way, but the Jason verse mask is coming. It's slightly different than the original. I believe there's only 13 vent holes in the new one, which basically lines up to what it was, or true Friday the 13th, where the original ones had a lot more than that, but this new one only has 13, so I'll let my buddy give his thoughts on it, and then, yeah.
My thoughts on the whole universe, or just, sorry, I was...
Either or, the Jason universe and the Sweet Revenge.
Okay, I'll do both. Sweet Revenge, I liked what I saw. The only thing I didn't like was something off screen that my friend like drives us both nutty as off screen kills. Somebody don't see, which sucks. The Mask, it looks good, gritty, but if you go into one second, guys, that's the wrong word. Into brighter skies, it looks like a hockey mask. Could be Casey Jones could own it, basically, from the Turtles. For me, for Jason verse, I guess I make sure I'm correct here again. I'm intrigued for the TV series. I know a lot of my fans, like my friend here, are very skeptical on it because we don't think we need it. Because if you know the first film, if I'm correct on this, it doesn't. I think the first one tells the story basically what we're getting for the show. I like the casting. I can't think of her name at the moment. That doesn't matter. The woman who's playing Pamela is a great actress. I think she'll do a banger job. The Mask, I have to see it up close. We've seen it in pictures and YouTube videos, but I kind of want to see it up close for myself, and then really say if I will hate it or not. Because more up close will tell us: is it a slasher or is it a dud? And right now, when it was in darkness, like in gritty, it looked okay. Like it looked like it was a good mask. But the one scene that you'll see, it looked like a normal hockey mask with the 13 dots or whatever they're called, holes to breathe.
Vent holes, yeah.
That's okay. He says, I can't speak very well because I'm sorry, I'm bad speaking. The Jason verse, I know the game, which I'm trying to grab your attention. It's going to be in the same vein as Hellraiser. That's what the game's going to be. It's not going to be asymmetrical this time. Thank God. And that came from Kane Hodder himself. They need to bring Kane Hodder back. If they're going to do a Jason movie, Kane Hodder is gotta be Jason. He is basically Jason. If you think of anybody else, to me, he's Jason. I'm not a big Jason horror guy. To me, he's Jason. Like I said, I want to see an 80s style movie from that, and a really good comeback, because the remake from 2009, I think.
Hello, guys.
I think 2009 was good. Or sorry, remake, a sequel, whatever the bananas they called it. I want to see a movie based from when the first one. We don't need another Origins. Glad this TV show is coming. That's going to take the Origins out of this. But I want to see a good story again. The last good movie was number 6 for me. I can't think of what the title is called.
Jason Lives was the 6th one, I think.
Yeah, Jason Lives. That was the last good one in my opinion. Another thing in horror, this ties into Jason, where Nightmare on Elm Street box that's coming, but Warner Bros. Hated Freddy vs. Jason. The movie a lot of us fans liked, and they're skipping it for some reason. I forget. If you didn't like it, why make it? It sucked if we didn't get England and Kane would have been better. Maybe that's why they don't like it. I don't know. Other things I like, I don't know much about this. I know there's a game. Probably movies are incoming. There's probably going to be comic books because this is a universe, right? So it wouldn't surprise me. He's going to be probably in games, comic books, movies. I think they should try again and do another Jason verse movie. Not Freddy, but do another character to go against them, another slasher like Michael or something, and try to see if they can get Michael Myers versus Jason Voorhees would be a better choice than, and maybe New Line, or I don't know, not even sure what company's behind besides Cunningham's company, Jason verse. I don't know what movie studio is going to take it on, because New Line Cinema was the last one I knew was it Universal? I don't. But I'm intrigued. The main launcher of the channel, this is more his alley. But I think we're in for some treats. I just know what the whole deal. I don't know if we're ever going to see the original mask again. This is their try at it. Now, I'm gonna ask him this. This is would you buy the new mask?
I'd have to see it in person, but I personally like the older mask. The older mask is the one that I like. I mean, I have a few of them. Obviously, I can get my buddy to grab one, and I can show you guys. The OG Jason mask is better for me.
Which one's the OG?
That one there, I think. I don't like the design of the eyes. It's the eyes for me with the new mask where it kind of looks like Jason's wearing sunglasses, which I don't get. He's got like aviator style like glasses on, so it looks like Jason's wearing shades. But like this is the kind of style that I like better. Is like this classic, old school, gritty Jason style. Like this is what it should be. Obviously, you can see my cast sign piece here. I got Tracy Savage, who played Debbie in part 3. Mike DeLuna, who was the stunt double in part 3. Larry Zerner, who played Shelley. And David Cadams, who played Chuck in part 3. Which actually celebrated an anniversary recently, was Friday the 13th, part 3, 3D. So, cool stuff there. Obviously, Jason Goes to Hell celebrated an anniversary the other day, which is awesome. Toxic Avenger is coming or not coming, I'm not sure. They're running into issues, supposedly.
You can't sit on YouTube, you're stuck.
I just liked, subscribed, and viewing the vid.
It's hard to read, eh?
Oh, thank you for subscribing, man. It's kind of, it's tricky. It's...
Can't really say it on the channel.
Oh, I put it on for kids. You kind of can.
If you want to say it, but...
Monster, you know what is the problem? They're running into issues, but supposedly it looks like it is coming to theaters, so we are going to get our taste of the Toxic Avenger, which we were supposed to get last year, which we didn't get because of, I don't know, some kind of issues where it wasn't coming out, but now it is coming out, and now we're finally getting it again. So, like, I don't know. I'm excited about Toxic Avenger. Yes and no. I think it's going to be a gritty, gory kind of movie. I don't think it's going to have much of a storyline. I don't know much about it. Like, I know, like, what his...
You know, it's going to be... It's a remake of the original, basically.
It's basically a remake of the original is what they're doing with it.
And
with Peter Dinklage playing Toxie, which I'm not sure how that's going to work. It's a pretty small Toxic Avenger. It's going to be interesting. Some of the kills look cool. Look super violent, which is kind of what you expect from a Toxic Avenger movie. It looks over the top, which of course is like Trauma style, is like over the top, loony kind of crazy movie making style is what they've done with all their films that they produce. So it's kind of what you'd expect from Trauma. So I'm excited. I'm going to watch it and see what it's going to be like. I'll probably post a review on that on this page at some point with Toxic Avenger. Recently, we just watched Dangerous Animals. I don't know if you guys have watched that one recently yet, but that was a fantastic movie. I really enjoyed that one. That was great. The guy who played Captain Boomerang played it. He played the serial killer, and he played it to perfection. He was awesome. Probably one of the best parts of the movie. The acting in the movie wasn't great. It wasn't the best, but the story and the kills were kind of cool. It was kind of gruesome. It was kind of like a fun set piece, I think.
what do they consider the movie? A shark film?
A shark film, yeah, which there's a lot of those shark films.
Is it really a shark film? No.
But we got some cool casting news today anyways with Scary Movie. As, was it Regina Hall's returning for Scary Movie 6? And Anna Faris is back for Scary Movie 6. So, two of the OGs back for Scary Movie 6. The Wayans brothers back. So, I'm intrigued to see what they do with Scary Movie 6. I've always liked the franchise. I thought Scary Movie did a heck of a job when it debuted onto the scene in the early 90s, 2000s, whenever the first one came out. I can't remember. But it was fantastic at that time. So, I'm definitely intrigued to see where they go with it. And kind of like to see what movies they pull from with Scary Movie this time around. There's so much that they can pull from. Like, Art the Clown and Terrifier has been extremely hot. They can pull stuff from Terrifier. They can pull stuff from non-horror related movies. So, I'm intrigued to see where they go with Scary Movie 6. I did like the franchise, so I'm intrigued to see where they're going with this one. I'm intrigued with Alien Earth. There's another one that I'm intrigued to watch. It's supposed to be very good. It's a prequel movie before Alien, actually. So, excited to watch that one and see where they go from there on that one. My buddy talks all superheroes, so I'll let him get into there with some superhero stuff for you.
You spoke number one. That's superhero. I'll make it quick because this feels more like a horror. It's going to be kind of funny. Turtle fans, I'll make it quick. they're coming out with a 4K trilogy box set. The best film, the two children's sequels, December 15th, possibly earlier. The posters were this slipcover changes that look amazing. I mean, I just saw them, so my head was on my phone. Other superhero news. Ghost, the ones I'd recommend this year to see is the Thunderbolts. I love that one. Superman, go see that in theaters. Help the movie get da-da-da. And yes, James Gunn directed and I loved it. And the Fantastic Four First Steps. Those are my favorite superhero movies of the year. They're amazing. What else has happened superhero-wise? It's entertaining-wise. Spawn's coming to 4K, which we don't know about that. So my head go down. It's a movie I don't think didn't need it. I mean, we're getting a reboot from. I got the wrong microphone in my head.
Todd McFarlane.
Thank you. Todd McFarlane's. I don't think we need this on a 4K. It doesn't age well. We tried to watch it recently and we were like, yikes. Other superhero news. I know Big Hero 6 is getting a sequel from Marvel. I didn't know there was a Marvel movie until now. Other superhero news. Not much else superhero-wise, but I kind of want to see a sequel to it's horror related. It's fun. It's the superhero movie spoof movie there with Leslie Nielsen, sorry. Superhero movie. I want to see a sequel to that because it's similar to Scary Movie. It spoofs all the superhero tropes. I kind of want to see if they can do it again. Going back to Scary Movie, what I'm scared about is it going to be Gen X, this generation? Is it going to be more towards them and leave us out, per se? And that's the scary point. Yes, they're bringing all the cast back, but are they going to make it more for today's fans and take us out of it? That's the scary point. Same with a lot of those movies now, I'm terrified when I hear, they're coming back out again. It's like, are they going to make it more for us to know the fans who grew up with it, or are we going to get a modernized version of Scary Movie, etc.? And Scary Movie, speaking of the first one, it's 25 years old, so 2000. So there you go. Scary Movie 1 is 25 years old now, which is scary.
Jesus.
So we basically both hit high school when the first one came out. That's how old that movie is. Anything else? Ghostbusters, there's another film coming. I didn't think we need another one, but what do I know? I love Ghostbusters, but I think they should have ended with the latest one. I haven't watched Wednesday, but I'll say Wednesday's second season. I think the second season is trying too hard to make it more horror. I think this is where they kind of took a left, where Wednesday was more Addams Family. This is more, I don't know what this season is. I've enjoyed it. It's a solid 8 for me. But parents are looking for more. It's not that at all. It's gone away from the Addams Family, basically, and gone to more scary and horror. Not going to spoil anything, because I don't want to. And what else have I watched that's good? Another horror fun isn't. No. That one, and then there's another one, and I can't think of it right at the moment because I started watching something else, and I can't remember what it was called. It's a horror series, too. Well, Wednesday's worth it if you want horror. But, Addams Family's getting another movie, but it's going to be another animated one for theaters. So we're going based again off of the comic strips, the 1920s. Yes, Addams Family is very old, older than I knew. So then now we got Nightmare on Elm Street. There's a 4K box set. We'll talk about that quickly. I'm excited. My friend's excited. Glad that we didn't get the holy slasher version. I'm using another word than swearing. There's 2 versions. If you can get lucky, there's one with his sweater as the cover, and it's got all the steel books. Or there's one him and my friend and I got. That's the same thing, just not with the steelbooks. But it's the same set. And number 6, right? It's the one with the glasses.
Yep, it's been remastered with the 3D for the
3D.
glasses.
You said Jaw, and I think you also said that Jaws 3D's or one of them was coming out finally in 3D. Is that the third one finally getting what it should have been?
It was in one of the 4K box sets, but I don't know which set it was, and it was sold out, I think.
Oh, sort of. I'm not surprised. Anything you got, guys? I can't.
Nothing yet. Well, I'll get you to grab that Jason piece. That I'll dive into convention style things, I guess.
Which one? Sorry.
The relic there.
Oh, right.
So while we're talking about horror stuff, guys, if you guys live in the Niagara region, Toronto area, Frightmare in the Falls is coming back this year, guys, at the Niagara Falls Convention Center. And my God, it is awesome this year. There are some huge guests. David Arquette will be there. Tom Atkins was just announced today. For Friday the 13th fans, while we're on Friday the 13th, The actual screenwriter of the film, Sean S. Cunningham, will be at Frightmare in the Falls this year, which is absolutely mind-blowing. As soon as I seen that, I was like, oh my god, that is amazing. I didn't think that Sean Cunningham did many conventions, but he is coming to Canada to Frightmare in the Falls, so there's 3 big guests there. Michael Berryman will be there this year as well. We have Bill Moseley, Jeffrey Daniel Phillips, Richard Brake, the reunion for Halloween Town. They also have, oh my god, they have so much this year. They also have, who is it else there?
Oh, there's too many great ones.
Daniel Roebuck, who plays the grandpa in the Munsters movie from Rob Zombie.
Rob Zombie.
Dee Wallace from E.T., from basically Cujo. Dee Wallace will be there. They have Miko Hughes from obviously Kindergarten Cop, Pet Sematary, Wes Craven's New Nightmare, that kind of stuff. Tons of great guests. So if you guys are big horror fans and you want a great horror convention to go to, definitely check out Frightmare in the Falls, guys. It is an unbelievable event. It's a lot of fun. And if you're big horror fans, there is a ton of big name celebrities this year to go and meet. And the list just keeps getting bigger because there's more announcements coming, I think, within the next week. So that is awesome stuff from Frightmare in the Falls. So if you guys are big horror fans and you want to check out an awesome horror convention, check them out. Frightmare in the Falls. You won't want to miss it. October 25th, 26th this year. They unfortunately weren't able to get the Friday, so they're a 2-day event this year, which is not bad. Keep it on the horror side of things. If you guys live in the Ottawa region, for Ottawa, Ontario, or any of the surrounding area of Ottawa, Ottawa Comic Con is coming up, guys, in about 3 weeks' time. For September 5th to the 7th, you guys will be able to meet Robert Englund, Freddy Krueger himself, as well as Nancy, a.k.a. Heather Langenkamp. She'll be there. Ken Kersinger will be there. They were going to have John Kassir, but unfortunately he canceled, so they're not going to have John Kassir this year. If you're wrestling fans, Rob Van Dam will be there, of ECW fame. He'll be part of it, so lots of cool guests if you guys are into the convention side of things, the convention scene. Ottawa Comic Con coming up in about 3 weeks' time. And Frightmare in the Fall is coming up next year. Or not next year. It will be there next year too. But coming up in October, where you can meet Tom Atkins, Sean S. Cunningham, Bill Moseley, Michael Berryman, Dee Wallace. All kinds of great guests there. While we're on Friday the 13th, I'll show you guys this really cool relic. It's actually part of the stone from the actual Friday the 13th sign while we're on that. Look at this cool piece here, guys. While we're on Friday the 13th. Signed by OG Jason himself, Ari Lehman. So, that's one of my cool Friday the 13th pieces that I have. Signed by Ari himself. So, we'll take some questions, guys, now, and then we'll wrap things up. But, yeah, let us know what you guys want to talk about. If you guys watched Sweet Revenge, if you liked it.
There we go. Back in.
Your guys' thoughts on the Jason universe.
Or recommend a movie to us.
Or any horror recommendations.
That too.
I do want to see Weapons. Weapons is definitely high on my list of movies that I want to watch. It's supposed to be a very good movie, so I'm intrigued to watch that one. Screamboat, one of my top horror films this year was Screamboat. It was hilarious and funny and great at the same time.
His top, probably one of the top.
Probably my top horror film for this year, guys, so far has to be
Mine too.
Final Destination Bloodlines.
Mine as well.
I thought the kills in this movie were absolutely fantastic.
Indeed.
I got the steelbook version of this one.
Groovy.
The kills were amazing. Seeing Tony Todd one last time was absolutely awesome, as well as sad and heartbreaking because it was the last time that we've seen him on the big screen, but
A good send-off.
it was a great send-off for Tony Todd. And I actually liked what they did with this year's Final Destination Bloodlines. I thought it was actually really well done. And there is another one coming. There is Final Destination 7 on the way. So, if you guys were big fans of Bloodlines, it's coming back again. There's a 7th one.
Weird.
So, what they're going to do with the 7th movie, I have no idea. Who's going to be in it, I don't know.
We don't even know the story.
We don't know the story. It'll probably start filming, I would think, at some point next year. When we're getting Scream 7 next year. So, I'm intrigued to... JC Productions. How do you feel about I Know What You Did Last Summer? Oh, that's a good question there, JC. I never seen it yet. I still have to see I Know What You Did Last Summer. I'm big fans of the original one. I really liked what they did with the original ones. A lot of these sequels, a lot of these legacy sequels are hit and miss for me. Sometimes they do them really well. Like, obviously, Final Destination Bloodlines did it very well in their movie. Scream, I have to see what they're going to do with Scream 7. It has me intrigued bringing back Matthew Lillard, David Arquette possibly being back again, Nev Campbell. I'm intrigued to see where they go with it. But yeah, I Know What You Did Last Summer looked really good, but I haven't seen it. I'm not sure how much it was like the original or what kind of twist and stuff that they did with that one, JC. I'm not too sure. But yeah, keep firing off the questions, guys. We'll get to them.
We'll get them as slowly but surely. No
I'm super slow with horror movies this year. I've seen a few of them, but there's a few of them that we haven't seen.
No.
Like Weapons, obviously haven't seen that yet. Definitely want to. What else did we see this year that was actually...
We've seen, I don't remember. Oh, wait. I do remember. Sorry, I didn't show us that one. I can quickly go, oops, not what I wanted.
I went to see Bloodlines in theaters and the power went out partway through the movie. I had to... Oh, that sucks, man.
I've had that happen to me.
We've had that happen a few times when we went and seen certain movies where the power not working or the film itself wasn't working.
Remember one of those?
And we had to get, like, refunded. Iron Claw was one that we seen in theaters that we had to see, like, multiple times because it wasn't working when they got the reel in for that movie, which was unfortunate because... Iron Claw was a fantastic movie. I really like that one.
Where have we seen her?
I'm intrigued with The Smashing Machine by The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. I think that's going to be cool for a lot of people that don't know the story of Mark Kerr. I think The Rock's going to do a good job of playing Mark Kerr. I think it's going to be an awesome movie. I'm excited with that one. I really trust A24 with what they bring to the table. They're a really great company when it comes to producing films.
So we've seen Wolfman.
Oh, you love the Iron Claw. Yeah, big WWE fan. Me too. I love WWE as well. Huge WWE fan. I'm hoping to see what happens with Karrion Kross. I'm intrigued. Hopefully he stays. I'm not sure. Right now he's doing a bunch of conventions, so we'll honestly see what happens there.
So we've seen the Wolfman.
We've seen the Wolfman this year.
Sinners.
Sinners, which I absolutely loved. Sinners was a fantastic movie. Was one of the best horror movies. Which one?
Hard Eyes.
Oh, Hard Eyes. Yeah, I've seen Hard Eyes. I actually enjoyed Hard Eyes for what it was. It was a different twist on a horror movie.
Until Dawn.
Until Dawn, which was garbage.
Clown in the Cornfield.
Clown in the Cornfield, which was
The Monkey.
It was okay. The Monkey was fantastic. I thoroughly enjoyed The Monkey. I thought The Monkey was great.
And the last one was Popeye the Slayer Man.
Popeye the Slayer Man was horrible.
That's all of them.
That's all we've seen so far. Those were bad.
These are all the movies. I just wanted to know how I knew that.
Hard Eyes felt like made for TV. It kind of did felt like made for TV. It wasn't the greatest horror film, but it wasn't terrible. But I don't know. Horror's kind of struggling this year so far. It's kind of been like it's a roller coaster with horror. It seems almost every year, but like certain horror films kind of like stand out more than others. Like Sinners really definitely Sinners stood out like huge because it was such a different movie, a different undertone, a different like
Blues, baby.
It was a vampire movie. It gave me kind of like vibes from like from Dusk Till Dawn. Kind of got vibes from Dusk Till Dawn, kind of mixed in with what they did with Sinners. It was awesome.
It's worth it. 4K. I hope they get it on 4K at some point.
It was a really good movie this year.
Anything you want me to tackle?
Sinners felt so surreal, and everybody who worked on it. Oh, everybody who worked on Sinners did amazing. It was a fantastic horror movie.
It was a French kiss.
Definitely one of the best so far, I would say, this year. Hands down, so far, one of the best this year.
For me, it's my favorite horror movie of the year. It's that one. I love the Blues Line.
That and Bloodlines so far.
Yeah, those tie it.
Bloodlines was fantastic. Seeing Tony Todd return to actually get his final send-off to say goodbye to the fans was Well, it was heartbreaking to see him like that.
It was a good friend.
It was a fantastic send-off for his character and for Tony Todd and for all he's done with horror throughout the years and stuff. So, well, at times it was sad to see him in that state. It was cool that he actually was able to give us
Goodbye.
a final goodbye. Is A24 still working on a Friday the 13th series focused around Pamela, do you know? JC, yes, they are. A24 and the Jason universe are still working on Friday the 13th. What is it called there? Crystal Lake. The Crystal Lake prequel series is still coming. It's going to be focused on, I think, Pamela for a couple episodes, and then they're going to bring in Jason at some point. They have 2 actors. My buddy's just going to look it up here, too, in a second. They have 2 actors that are going to be playing Jason this year. And what's cool about it, in a sense, is they're unknown. They're not really, like, big-known actors and actresses who's going to play Jason. So I'm intrigued with this one.
Series is next year.
Next year, apparently, is Crystal Lake, which they're still working on.
We know that, I can tell you, the first episode's called The Great Pretender.
There you go. The Great Pretender will be the first episode. We're just looking for the Jason. I know Adrian King is returning in the series to play Alice.
Are we looking for the kid Jason's played by the guy that was in Chucky?
Oh, okay. So the kid Jason
I don't know.
is going to be played by Callum Vincent.
He was in
Callum
Chucky.
Vincent, who was in the Chucky series recently. He's going to be playing young Jason. And Zachary Branch is the guy who's playing adult Jason. So Zachary Branch will be your Jason this year for the prequel series Crystal Lake. Have you checked out yeah, I actually did check out the Welcome to Derry trailer. I enjoyed it, actually. I thought it was pretty cool. I'm excited to kind of see the origins of Pennywise and dive more into the It lore.
You want Pamela's actress?
Linda something or other.
I can never pronounce her. She's a great actor.
And this is who they got to play Pamela, Linda Cardellini.
I think you said it. I can't.
Cardellini, she'll be the Pamela this year.
There you go.
Obviously, it's not Betsy Palmer, and we're going to get into, like, nobody can ever replace Betsy Palmer. We'll just start, like, with that. Nobody's ever going to replace Sean Cunningham's Jasons. They're the staples. So, taking this as a standalone, as its own thing, outside of, like, basically cutting the cord for all, like, the Jason stuff, I'm going to give it a chance to see how it's going to do. But, like, for OG Jason fans, like, what Cunningham's done, all the original Jason stuff beforehand will always be the best Jason stuff. But I'm intrigued to see where they go with this. And the mask is kind of cheesy, kind of bad. I was not a fan of the new mask. I think it looks terrible. Mm-hmm. Especially being designed by Greg Nicotero, who's an amazing not stunt artist, but amazing special effects artist. It just was a really bad design. I thought Bill Scarsgard was done with Pennywise. I remember him saying he was upset with the fact that he kept getting sent horror roles because of it. Yeah, I was surprised to see Scarsgard return as Pennywise, but I was happy that he was back in a sense because it's something that we're familiar with. But hey, he does get good in other roles too. Like, he stepped up for Barbarian, which I thought was a great horror movie as well. His role in that was really good, actually. I enjoyed Barbarian as well. It was a great horror film. It was different. And we know we're getting Terrifier 4 next year. Mm-hmm. At some point. It'll be begin filming probably next year. We'll probably get it like 27 or later 26, depending when it's filming. Mm-hmm. We know that Scream 2 is coming, which is awesome. If you haven't gone out and seen Scream, guys, definitely go out and see Scream. It was a fantastic horror movie. Definitely one of my favorites. I think that came out this year, didn't it?
Scream? I think...
It was Scream this year or last year? I can't remember. But it was fantastic. I'm glad that Scream is getting a sequel. Those guys at Fuzz on the Lens Productions, Michael Levy, Jason Levy, Stephen De La Sala, those guys definitely deserve credit where credit is due. They pulled off an amazing feat with Scream, and I'm excited that they're able to do Scream 2 and to see where they go with it. The Crow remake I actually didn't think was bad, but I think it was bad as a Crow movie. If it was a standalone thing but tied to the Crow, they did. I agree with you on that one. Like, the Crow, to me, if it didn't connect Eric Draven, which is synonymous with Brandon Lee, and his wife, like the whole story of the original one, and it was his own standalone separate thing. Like maybe this was the kid of Eric Draven, or this was like something like along that sides where it's like a different kind of storyline but kind of similar. I think it would have done really well. It kind of felt to me like they kind of rushed through some of the production on it, and some of the scenes kind of felt a little rushed and not like what they should have been up to the par and the standards of what the original Crow was. Obviously, it was fantastic with Brandon Lee and all those guys in that one. But yeah, the remake was not bad. I mean, there were some cool kills in it. The kills weren't bad. I thought Scarsgard tried. The script was not the best. The script was pretty bad. I think he did basically the best that he did with the script that he had. And obviously with the Crow, like nobody will ever be Brandon Lee. And, you know, for the Crow, we just got to, you know, we love Brandon Lee. We'll forever remember Brandon Lee as the Crow. That's his character, you know. Unfortunately, at the time of the filming, they used a live round, and he didn't make the other half of the film, unfortunately. And he sadly passed away in a tragic accident while filming The Crow. But I'm intrigued on maybe where they're going to go with it. But yeah, Brandon Lee will always be tied to that film. He was just such a great actor, with his career and life sadly cut way too short in the film industry, especially during that movie. I mean, I kind of think of like what it would have been like had he still been alive making the other Crow movies, how many of them like he would have did, and like kind of like then they would have been okay with like storylines and stuff. But yeah, it's sad when that happens. But I think like, well, we're on the topic of that too. 3 from Hell, I think, was really well done from what they had, especially because this is where I got to give a lot of credit to Richard Brake. And if I see him at Frightmare, if I do get a chance to meet him again, I'm going to give him his flowers for just the way that he stepped in that role for 3 from Hell when he took over from Sid Haig to play Otis's brother. I think he just did an amazing job. I always wonder, you know, what the scenes would have been like with Sid, how he would have done them, and the kind of the dialogue and stuff when, you know, if his health was better, if he was still around, where Rob would have taken that. The Firefly trilogy is generally one of my favorite horror. It's a fantastic horror trilogy. And Devil's Rejects, while we're on that topic, is coming to 4K, guys, for its anniversary. So if you're big fans of Devil's Rejects, check it out, coming to 4K. You're not going to want to miss it because it's a fantastic movie. 3 from Hell, yeah. Richard Brake did an amazing job. And if I do see him at Frightmare in the Falls this year, if I do get a chance to meet him, I'm going to give him his flowers, his props, because he filled in a role that not many people would have been able to fill in and do that role justice the way that Richard Brake was able to do in that movie. And I think even on one of the other horror podcasts I watch on YouTube as well, Bill Moseley was talking about the same thing, and he was like, you know, there was nobody that they would have rathered fill in that spot had it needed to be, other than Richard Brake, just because of the way that the man's, like, his acting career and just the way that he acts. It was a perfect fit, and it couldn't have been any better for them. What are your thoughts on Five Nights at Freddy's 2? I'm excited. I was intrigued. I came into Five Nights at Freddy's 1. My buddy talked about this one too. I came into Five Nights at Freddy's 1 with little to no expectations. You know, I thought it was going to be a decent movie, but I was blown away by the performance from Josh Hutcherson. The performance of Matthew Lillard, I thought he did a fantastic job. I was so used to seeing Matthew Lillard play Stu Mocker from the Scream franchise that I'm like, oh yeah, Matthew Lillard can play other roles in horror. He's not just Stu from Scream. He's, you know, his own guy. He can play different roles, and I thought he did a fantastic job as the killer in the Five Nights at Freddy's 1. I'm intrigued to see where they go with Five Nights at Freddy's 2. It looks good. Blumhouse, for me, is a coin flip. They're hit and miss. They either deliver products that are fantastic, or they kind of leave us underwhelmed and kind of wanting more. An example of that would be the Megan movie. I haven't seen the second one, but apparently the second one's not as good as the first one. But they kind of dropped off. Like, they kind of like, oh, we're going to make it a horror movie. Then they're like, oh, no, now we're going to make it a science fiction, this and this. It's like, okay, guys, you had something when making it a horror movie. People liked it, and they wanted more of it. Then you just twist around the story and throw whatever they threw together for that. It's just... Blumhouse is such a coin flip. They are such a coin flip. I heard that they are filming another Purge movie taking place at Disneyland. That could be cool. I don't mind the Purge movies. I think they've done all right. I definitely don't mind them at all. Actually, I think they're decent.
I've only seen 2 of them.
They've been so many of them. Strangers, we have Strangers 2 coming. We've seen Strangers 1, and Strangers 1 was absolute dog crap. It was just brutal. I don't know what they were doing with the first one.
You tackle that.
Considering, like, they had a good story already when they first brought it out with Liv Tyler and that Strangers movie. And then the second one, which was Pray at Night, which is amazing, like an 80s throwback kind of callback to slasher lore, per se, on that one, which was fantastic. But then they came into the Strangers, the newest one, and they tried to just friggin', oh, let's bring what they did good from Strangers, the first one, and Pray at Night, and we'll just throw it together and see what sticks. And it was just awful. The original 2 after the remake was bad. I didn't know what they were thinking of the Strangers for the first one. Second one looks not bad, not great. It's looking like they're tying together a lot of the loose ends that they kind of left out in the first one. Whereas, like, we're actually going to get more of a backstory on the characters, how they became the killers, how the town kind of protects them, and what's happening with, like, the victims and the people of, like, we're kind of getting somewhere, but I don't know. That's just a franchise that's just been absolutely destroyed. But I'll let you dive into some. I'm gonna lose my voice here. He's got a lot of questions there, movie guy.
Yeah, I'm horror related. I get
any movie basically because he's diving into all of them.
Any movies? Okay, I can't read those. My issue. Financial Freddys. I'll go to that one because I can say the first one was really good. I mean, we never played the games. I didn't know there were games. I thought it was an original story. How old I am. But my favorite actor, Matthew Lillard, he has done no wrong for me. He's always done a good movie. I've liked him in Scooby, Scream. I'm blanking now, and then Financial Freddys. If you guys want, I'll quickly dive into Turtles are returning to theaters. Actually, it's out now, so if you're a fan of the night, and compared to from our age, in the late 30s and early 40s, the first 1990s one's back in theaters, but I don't know if it's 4K. That's why I'm waiting on the set. Yay, but I'm excited. Another movie I'm excited for this year, boy. Let's feel that. Another movie I'm excited for. Crap, I've seen a lot of movies this year. Oh, Wicked 2, believe it or not. My sister and I both loved it. I'm going to take her to see the sequel. I'm going to take another family member of mine. Her very first movie is going to be Gabby. I'm an uncle now, so Gabby's movie's coming out. I know I'm going to take my niece to that. So, yeah, my movies are all over the map because I'm an uncle / I like different kinds. Horror related, isn't there one coming out we both want to see this year? I do want to see Megan. Yes, Megan 2 looks like a sci-fi action film now from its horror route, which is weird, but I still want to see it.
Conjuring Lost Rights.
Oh, yeah, thank you. See, he's younger. I'm older. He remembers things. I don't. Yes, The Conjuring. We both want to see how that ends. The last one?
Terrible.
He said it. Yeah, it's not very good. I'm intrigued by the Pennywise series like he is. I'm intrigued. Do we need it? No. But what's he saying before I continue?
Oh, he's looking forward to that one.
Oh, the Terrifier?
No, Conjuring Lost Rights.
Okay, Conjuring. Now, all I know from trying to look up stuff about whatever the hell this movie's on, excuse my language a bit here, because I'm PG, it is their final case. It's what ends them. It basically, this case is what I know of. It sounds like it ends them. This was their downfall. This was the case people didn't believe. It was basically their end of doing paranormal activity hunt, I believe. So if I'm correct, I'll be corrected after.
Paranormal investigating.
Yeah, thank you. Corrected again. So yeah, it's supposed to be the very finale. But then we know it's the final movie. But then we know we're getting I think a TV series based off The Conjuring, aren't we? Correct me if I'm wrong again.
The case that led to the retirement, yeah, for sure.
Oh, there we go. See, correct me. Thank you. Another horror movie that I don't know what else is coming out in the fall besides Wicked, Gabby, as I just mentioned, The Conjuring.
Oh, In a Violent Nature too.
In a Violent Nature, that's next year, I believe, right?
I think so.
Yeah, that's another one. I'll get him to tackle because the first one's great. I mean, he's got the autograph of the actor. He's also got the autograph. Don't you have the autograph of the Hellraiser guy as well?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was trying to do this. I was trying to snap my hand because I can't talk. Okay, what else can I speak about? A video game my friend is super excited on. I'll probably watch him play because I don't play a lot of horror games. Is the Hellraiser game. My friend is super excited for it. It's a non-asymmetrical horror game. It's a story-driven game to what he and I have been waiting for a long time. And it's got Clyde Barker.
Oh, he's talking about the In a Violent Nature.
Oh.
I loved In a Violent Nature. I have not seen many people tackle horror movies where that's exactly my thoughts when I went into it. Was like, we've never seen anybody tackle horror movies from the killer's perspective itself, which is what made In a Violent Nature to me so different and so good. Because, like, I see a lot of horror movies try to do the same thing. We're like, oh, we're gonna have a whole bunch of jump scares, and it's just gonna be an entire movie of jump scares here, here, and here. It's like, okay, but there's not gonna be much plot. It's just a bunch of jump scares, or it's just gonna be a slasher where you're gonna see a lot of the kills are not even gonna be on screen. They're gonna be 90% off screen. Whereas, like, this was different. Like, you actually followed the killers from the movie from the start through the entire thing, and I thought it was fantastic. I got to talk to Rye Barrett as well, who's obviously JC, who plays Johnny, and talk to him about the famous kill, the yoga scene kill, which won him the Chainsaw Award last year for best kill in a horror movie. And he said, yes, it was awesome, but he said, I didn't do much of the work. Much of the work was basically done by the stunt coordinators and the special effects makeup artist, and a lot of the guys behind the scenes are the ones that are basically to thank for the Chainsaw Awards. He's like, I was just there in the suit. That's basically it. And it was awesome. It was awesome to talk to Rye Barrett about that. I'm super excited for In a Violent Nature too. I hope that there's all kinds of cool new ways that he can get some crazy kills in there. Like, if you're going to get into video games, have you guys checked out Ghost of Yotai? No, I haven't seen that one yet. I've not seen that one yet.
It's not for you.
But yeah, no, In a Violent Nature 2 was awesome. Rye Barrett was wicked talking to him about that movie. And when we're on like brutal kills before I dive into the Hellraiser game, I was thoroughly impressed with Terrifier 3. With what they're able to do with David Howard Thornton and the kind of levels that Damien Leone and the guys went to, like, new heights for the kills this time around. With, like, the chainsaw scene, obviously, in the bathroom, which was amazing. See, I can show you guys a cool pin that I got from Zobi. Which actually has the aftermath of the bathroom scene for Art the Clown. But that was a fantastic kill. That was really cool. The one with the Santa Claus where he acquires the suit with, like, the freezing and the hammer, and it was just awesome. David and Damien continue to take it to new levels. I really enjoyed Terrifier 3. There was a great story there. I liked the character development with Sienna and Art. I loved how they kind of mashed those in together, and they did a lot better job, I found, on Terrifier 3 than they did on Terrifier 2. And I'm intrigued to see Terrifier 4, where we're finally going to get Art the Clown's origin. So I'm super excited for one more Art the Clown installment, one more Terrifier installment, and one more run from Damien Leone and the boys. So I'm excited for that one. And while we're on video games, Terrifier does have its own video game coming out this year, guys. Terrifier, the arcade game, which I believe is coming out in October. It's a cool, kind of fun, cheesy side-scroller game. You can play as Art the Clown, you can play as the Pale Girl, and I believe you can play as Victoria, So you can play as those 3 characters. It's basically walking around. You play as Art the Clown. You know what ensues next. All kinds of crazy violence, over-the-top gore, crazy levels, crazy bosses. Just a fun overall kind of game. I love the look of the Hellraiser video game. I'm definitely picking up. Yeah, the Hellraiser video game looks amazing. It kind of feels to me like a whole new movie for Hellraiser. And the fact that we get Doug Bradley back as Pinhead, to me, is just absolutely amazing. I like how they offered 3 different versions of this game. You got the base game. You got the deluxe edition, which comes with, like, I believe, the statue. And it comes with, like, I think an art print, as well as your choice of puzzle boxes. So you can either choose from the Lament configuration, which is the original one, or you can choose the Genesis configuration, which is the newest one from the video game. Me being the old school horror guy that I am, I went with obviously with the Lament configuration is the one, as well as they had the last version was the Leviathan edition. This one got you, it was limited to 1,000 copies. This got you the Hellraiser game, your choice of puzzle box, either the Lament or the Genesis configuration, the statue, I believe a digital art book, an art print, hand-signed by Clive Barker, the director, writer of Hellraiser, of Candyman, all kinds of things like that. Signed by Clive Barker. That was, I believe, limited to 1,000, so that one is cool. But yeah, that's what I know about the Hellraiser game. There's no date on it yet. Hopefully we figure out when it's coming out at some point. I know when we're on horror topics here, Trick or Treat Studios just announced today that their Terrifier 2 figures are going up for pre-order. They have eye-popping Art the Clown from the costume shop, Sienna Shaw, as well as Pale Girl. So if you're interested in those, Trick or Treat Studios has those 4 figures for you: the eye-popping art, the costume studio art, Sienna, and the Pale Girl, all from Trick or Treat Studios, and they look fantastic. So if you're big fans of Trick or Treat Studios and a Terrifier, definitely pick up those guys. They look amazing, and you won't be disappointed. Trick or Treat Studios does awesome jobs with figures. They're definitely, I would say, in the up-and-coming part of figures for horror. I love the next few years we're going to see horror do great. I think so. I think horror is going to do fantastic in the next couple of years for sure. And I just love how much, like, the indie horror has improved and how it's kind of, like, been the ones to kind of, like, jumpstart the genre again. Like, what, Damien Leone, Stephen Della Sala, Michael Levy, Jason Levy, what they did for Terrifier basically brought, like, a whole new group of fans that would have never watched horror before, and now they're big fans of Art the Clown. They're like, oh my god, we got to go watch more Terrifier because we got to see what Art the Clown does next. And those same guys did that same thing with Stream, where David Howard Thornton played Player 2. It's like, oh wow, we got to see what Player 2 does next in the next movie. And just taking it to a whole new level. Like, indie horror has changed, I think, the way the genre is and what we see in the genre nowadays. Me and my girlfriend are actually both going as Ghostface this Halloween. That's cool, man. That's cool. Mm-hmm. Ghostface is awesome. Scream 7 I'm intrigued with. But yeah, that's basically been the Kickstarter for horror, has been the indie genre, basically. In a Violent Nature as well, too. A local Canadian guy. Made good. Brought out a friggin' great horror movie, and it's been fantastic. It did really well. It's just proof that the big guns aren't always necessarily the best. You know, like, at times it's good to give the little guys a chance, because sometimes the little guys can really impress you and just deliver an absolutely incredible movie. And that's what I'm kind of, like, getting more towards into when I've watched horror movies, is, like, the older kind of, like, the newer kind of side of things, where it's like, maybe I'll give it a chance and see how it does, and a lot of times it exceeds expectations. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it fails. But you know what? these guys are making a great effort. They're making great movies, and there just gives us something to continue to talk about on channels and on as horror fans and just fans of movies in general. Probably need another one.
Did they get one?
I'll take a couple more questions, guys, and then we'll wrap it up. But I appreciate you being on here, JC. It definitely means a lot to us. There, you can dive in there, Ty.
I'll dive in. That's going to hurt.
Take maybe 2 more, and then I'll wrap it up.
So we'll take 2 more questions, like you said. We'll wrap it up. So I mean, it's one of my favorite wrestlers. Our favorite wrestler. I still have a drink, so you can get one for yourself. I'm taking my time. So, what are the last 2 questions you guys want to know? And we have 2 more questions left. What do you guys want to talk about? What else is big in? Oh yeah, surprised I didn't mention this. I'll quickly say it was Jaws is going back in the theaters for their 50th anniversary, and it's going to our theaters in 4K somehow. Turtles didn't get the 4K. I don't know if it did, but Jaws 50 is going back to theaters. Sound and Music's going back in for their 60th anniversary. If you're fans of that. What else is going in? Oh, Rocky Horror Picture Show's 50th anniversary this year, so that's going back into theaters in October and going to 4K. One other big ones I can think of is that. Oh, the Harry Potter franchise is all going back to theaters, and they have popcorn buckets and cups, and they're based off all the houses. I'm not a Potter fan. I don't want to butcher anything Harry Potter. I'll probably get roasted for butchering something. But they're going back, and it's a cup, and it's a special book that turns into a popcorn bucket. So we, by chance, to go to theaters, try to find them.
Any questions there? Oh, you can show off the Zombie box.
I mean, I think that thing.
Yeah, I guess so. We can bring that out there.
It's up to you.
It's all.
Ouch. There you go. You can bend. Oh, my body.
So yeah, we'll take a couple more questions, guys. We'll show off the Zombie box. You got a cool little pin, Nosferatu.
Nosferatu.
Yeah, we got Alien t-shirt. Unfortunately, I'll get into it in a hot minute. If you did get this, you got the Urban Legend autograph, and they gave you 13 Ghost autograph. And the reason they did that is because their acrylic figure here, the Daniel Harris one from Hatchet, got destroyed when it was shipped. So that's what Zombie was offering in August, if you guys were fans of Zombie or you're interested in that kind of stuff. But yeah, guys, that's been our horror stuff. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If there's any more questions, we'll get to them. But we'll wrap things up shortly. Yeah, as my buddy was mentioning, if you're lucky enough to get a hold of the Nightmare on Elm Street 4K set with the steelbooks, all the power to you. It is sold out currently on Amazon, I believe. I believe the only place that may still have it is Zavvi, but I'm not 100% sure. They did have it at some point, but it may or may not be sold out at this time. I don't know. That's the one that came with the steelbook, so it's all steelbook covers for each one of the Nightmare on Elm Street films, 1 to 7, as well as the 3D glasses. I got the standard version. Basically came with like the older cover of the Nightmare on Elm Street. You get 1 to 7. You get all the special features. You get Part 5 unrated for the first time ever. I don't think they've ever offered the unrated version of Part 5 before until this box set. So you get the unrated version of Part 5. You get the unrated version of the first movie, as well as different music videos, I think, from either the third one and the fifth one. I think there's a music video that's included as well. And the 3D glasses. So you also get the 3D glasses, which you can watch Part 6, the second half of it in 3D, which has apparently been completely restored for 4K. So I'm intrigued to see how it looks on 4K, especially with the 3D aspect of it, with the old school glasses. But yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street 4K set. I believe right now on Amazon you can still get the standard edition 4K set, all 7 movies with the 3D glasses. I believe they still have that one. The Steelbook is currently sold out, though. You cannot get the Steelbook one right now. I don't know if they're going to be getting any more of them in, but we do know that I believe that comes out September 23rd, I think, is when Nightmare on Elm Street comes to 4K. So if you guys are big Elm Street fans, obviously like me, you're going to be excited for Nightmare on Elm Street 4K. Which I already technically have the first one on 4K, but it comes in the box set again, and you have to have the first one again, which is really stupid, but that's the way they did it. So, but it's the first time ever that we're getting 2, 3, 4, all the way up to 7 on 4K. So I don't think they're ever going to do them separately, or at least not yet do them separately. I don't know what Warner wants to do here. If they're eventually going to bring them separately, maybe. But at this moment in time, the only way to get all 7 Nightmare on Elm Street films on the 4K is basically to get the box set on the 4K. Is the only way to get all 7 films. So maybe in time, it'll come out and they'll have it on everything and they'll be separate, but right now, not so much. So we'll wait for any more questions regarding the Nightmare on Elm Street 4K. A couple more about horror movies, anything that you're excited about for this year, and then we'll wrap things up. Huge thank you to everybody who's been on tonight, though. From everybody from JC Productions, huge shout out to you. Huge shout out to basically everybody who's been on here. You guys are awesome. Yeah, you guys are all awesome. I definitely appreciate you guys all being on here. It means a lot to us, helps the channel grow, helps us gain more subscribers the more that we do these live videos. So, and we just love talking movies. Anything movies, film related, convention circles, you know, we're here for you. If you're looking for good conventions, I'm not sure what area you're located in JC, but if you're in the Niagara, Toronto region, Frightmare in the Falls, I highly recommend it. This year you're getting Tom Atkins, Michael Berryman, Bill Moseley, Jeffrey Daniel Phillips, Daniel Roebuck, Dee Wallace, Henry Thomas. Christ, who else is there this year? So many. Sean S. Cunningham, for the first time, I think, ever, is going to be there, which is amazing for Friday the 13th fans. That's a pretty rare autograph to get, Sean S. Cunningham, and he's going to be there. It's awesome. Miko Hughes, obviously, Pet Sematary, Wes Craven's New Nightmare, Kindergarten Cop, all that kind of fun stuff. He'll be there. And if you guys are in the Ottawa region, Ottawa, Canada, Gatineau-ish kind of region, Ottawa Comic-Con is coming up this year, guys, from September 5th to the 7th, featuring, while we're on the horror topic, the one, the only Freddy Krueger himself, Robert Englund, Heather Langenkamp, Ken Kersinger, Rob Van Dam. If you're big wrestling fans, RVD will be here in September for Ottawa Comic-Con. They have Vincent, I can't remember his last name. He played Private Pyle in Full Metal Jacket, and he was Kingpin in the Daredevil series. He's here. Mike Coulter from Zero Dark 30, as well as Luke Cage. He's here. So, and lots of great comic artists. So, yeah, that's what we have, guys, coming up for convention side of things. So, hopefully you guys found this video informative. Hopefully you enjoyed it. We definitely love sitting here talking movies with you guys. It's been awesome. You guys are what makes the channel go around. You guys are what makes us still continue to do videos for you guys. Movie reviews, game reviews, all kinds of cool stuff. Figure unboxing. So the more we do this stuff, the better it is, and the more you guys will be tuning into the channel to check us out. We're on the road to 300 subscribers. Happy to say we're at 292. We're almost at 300, which is awesome. Maybe 300 subscribers, we'll do another live video, and we'll do like an appreciation post for everybody who's subscribed and everybody who's been part of the channel since day one. since the inception of the channel. So maybe we'll do a video like that once we hit 300 subscribers. Maybe we'll do a video like that. So on that note, guys, hopefully you guys have a great night. Thank you guys so much for coming onto the channel. We appreciate every single one of you guys. It's been awesome talking movies with you. And we will hopefully be able to see you guys all in the next video. Till then, guys, peace out. Who do you think would win, Freddy Krueger or Michael Myers? That's kind of different. I don't know.
That's yours. You just
probably.
One's a slasher. One's got claws. And
I like Freddy, but I don't know how his chances would be against Michael, because he'd have to first of all put Michael to sleep somehow to be able to do anything to him, because Freddy does most of his work in the dream realm. So if characters are not in the dream realm, there's not much Freddy can do unless they're asleep or part of the dream realm, and then Freddy has full reign to do whatever he wants. So if Freddy can't get Michael into the dream realm, obviously Michael would win. But if Freddy can find some kind of way to get Michael into the dream realm, it could be a different story. Freddy could definitely win that, but he's got to get him into the dream realm first, which is kind of a little bit of a disadvantage for Freddy. But if Freddy's able to get him into the dream realm, it's Freddy. If Freddy can't get Michael into the dream realm, obviously Michael Myers takes it. But yeah, great question. I like stuff. Great question. I appreciate that.
Different one.
That was actually kind of a different one. That was a good one.
You know your horror, right? I couldn't have answered. You had gone and disappeared. I wouldn't have been able to answer that.
Michael is slow. Yeah, Michael is a slower kind of killer.
But he's deadly.
He's deadly too. But Freddy's kind of methodical though. Freddy will kind of like slowly pick him apart by piece by different things. Freddy's more like, he's faster, but he's also like more like psychological kind of killer.
He's the boogeyman.
Like he'll get into Michael's head and kind of mess with him a little bit before he does his stuff. Kind of similar to what he did, if you remember Freddy vs. Jason, where he got the water and he was drowning Jason and it was kind of bringing everything back to Jason. So kind of just Freddy getting in Jason's head. In that sense, is kind of similar to what Freddy would do with Michael. It's the same as what he did in Freddy vs. Jason. We're celebrating its anniversary today too, so that's kind of what he would do in that sense. Which ties in that movie. But yeah, we'll take one more. We got almost 70 minutes here. That's pretty good. Yeah, if you guys have one more, we'll take it. If not, then
we'll see you in the next one.
We'll see you guys all in the next one. We hope you guys have a great night. And we thank everybody who's subscribed to the channel, who's been part of us since day one. Again, once we hit 300, might be when we do our next live. Be an appreciation post and an appreciation Q&A for the fans of the lounge.
Yeah,
once we hit 300 subscribers, we'll do that. We'll have our Q&A, congratulations, 300 subscribers. So, but I think on that note, guys, I'm kind of losing my voice. I've been talking for quite a while on this thing, so have yourselves a great night, guys, and we'll see you all in the next one. We appreciate every single one of you. You guys are what makes the channel operate. You're what makes us work. JC Productions, thank you so much, bud, for coming on here. Definitely appreciate you, bud, and everything that you do. It's great talking movies with you. I like stuff. If this is your first time on the channel, appreciate you, bud. Thank you for popping in and saying hi and for your question. Definitely means a lot to us and everybody who's been with us since day one. So thank you, guys. Love you guys. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.